Hi everyone, I'm Roisin Anson. I'm a self-published, or hoping to be a self-published author full-time. I have finished my first rough draft and I'm currently editing that rough draft. Now this is what this video is going to be about. It's an editing vlog about what I'm currently doing this week. So far I've done the first 3 chapters edited, and I've completely read through the entirety of the draft. I know that the first act needs a lot of changes. I've had to rewrite the first 2 chapters, and then I'm moving what was chapters 4, 5 and 6 up, so it's now 3, 4 and 5, and then I'm rewriting chapter 6. So the first act is almost done. I've finished rewriting the first 2 chapters. I'm now working on editing the next 3 chapters, and then I'll rewrite chapter 6. And then for my plans for the rest of the novel, it's I'm taking out about 4 or 5 of the characters, mainly because I feel like there's a lot for people, like for the reader to wrap their heads around. So I'm taking out some of the characters that don't necessarily need to be in this first book and moving them into the next book. The series is estimated to be about 5 books. Basically, the book is about a female main character who comes from a supernatural family. Her mum and sister are both witches, and the dad and brother are werewolves, and she is neither. Because she has disabilities, she didn't show any signs of supernatural abilities, so she's essentially human. And the main focus of the story is a book was stolen. The book contains spells that anybody can do, whatever species you are, human, werewolf, angel, either dark or light, and vampires. Anybody can use these spells, not just witches or warlocks. And in the book, most of the spells are really detrimental to somebody with supernatural abilities. So basically one of the spells is to strip a witch of her powers, and so on for each of the other factions of supernatural beings. So they need to find this book, but obviously all of the people that know about this book are supernatural, and because they have spells in there that can strip somebody of the powers, she's told to go on the trip as well because she's human, and they have to find this book. But basically there's in the rough draft, there's a lot of characters. I think in the team there's about 10 characters. So I'm stripping that back to being just the main team that needs to go to begin with, and then I'll introduce the different factions, the characters, later on. That's my plan. So that's my plan for this round of edits, and obviously making sure that it's all cohesive and that sort of stuff. My book is a young adult paranormal, it's contemporary fantasy, so it happens in our world with different fantasy things. It's really hard to explain. But basically, it's got supernatural beings. I'm very bad at explaining, I'm so sorry. But yeah, that's what this is about. So far I've wrote the first draft. I edited it a little bit before, and then I didn't really know what to do, and I knew that I needed to take the characters out, but I was kind of resistant in doing it. So now that I know that I'm taking the characters out, that's when I'm doing this big whole. So technically it's my second draft, but it's hard to differentiate the different drafts. So, but I've finished, like I said, the first 3 chapters, one of them being the prologue, and now I'm working on editing the rest of Act 1. That's what my hope of this week is. Although we're on Friday, so this week, this vlog is probably going to be quite short because I'm only doing Friday to Sunday. And then my idea is going to be bringing you the rest of the weeks to finish. So I keep touching my face, I've got a spot in it, irritates me. To finish this book, I want to do an act a week. So Act 1 this week, Act 2 part 1 next week, Act 2 part 2 the week after, and then Act 3 the week after that. However, this is supposed to be my Camp Nano project, and I wanted to finish all of the edits. And from what I can tell, considering we're on like the, what day is it, the 14th, it's not quite going that way. So I think I'm hoping Act 1 was the main haul I needed to do a lot of edits for, and I had to rewrite quite a bit of it. So I think the rest of the book is going to be a lot more simple, with just taking characters out, and even though that's a big job, I'm not completely rewriting the entire book. So I think it's going to be a lot easier to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up, because I want to finish this by the end of July. So what I'm planning on doing is doing Act 1 this week to Sunday. So in 3 days I want to finish Act 1. And then Act 2 part 1 and half of Act 2 part 2 next week. And then the week after that I want to do the rest of Act 2 part 2 and then Act 3. But from what I remember on my reread, it's quite Act 2 part 2 was really quite well, because obviously that's in the thick of the story, so most of that's going to be staying the same. I don't have to do a lot of editing on that. Act 3, it's just the first chapter I think that I had a problem with, like the big edits that need to happen on the first chapter of Act 3, so I need to do that. So that'll be again relatively simple. So I think most of my problems, as I said, was in Act 1, where I've had to do a lot of the edits. So once I finish that, I think the rest of my edits will be relatively fast. So that's my goal. So the rest of the video will be me working on my edits for Act 1. So now that we've got the intro part of this out of the way, I think the rest of the video is going to be quite fast. And like I said, it might not be that long, or it might be long because of this intro, but I doubt it's going to be that long with the actual vlog part, because on the weekend I try and do a little bit less. So I've got 4 chapters left and 3 of them are just edits, so it'll be the 6th one that's the long one, which will be Sunday, and I don't really do a lot of work on Sunday anyway. So that's the goal, that's the objective. I'm just about to start editing chapter 3. Currently, with moving over chapter 3 that needs editing, my document is currently at 10,015 words. That's with a deleted scene that I decided that I didn't really want, but I'm counting it as my NaNoWriMo words. So yeah, it's mostly okay from what I can see. It's just the first part of the chapter, which is about 700 words, needs to be changed because the way I had it set up before was Alexa, the main character, didn't like going into the pack house, because obviously everybody knew that she wasn't magically gifted, either as a werewolf or a witch. So she didn't like going to the pack house. But in this draft, I've changed that, so this bit needs to get changed, but it's still the end part of this chapter still needs to happen, because that's where they break into two, which is a save the cat beat. It's the part that happens just before the debate. At least I think that's the way it goes, but basically this needs to happen because the book needs to be stolen, but she needs to be there when it gets stolen. So yeah, this first bit needs changed, and then the next bit should stay the same, and chapter 4 should come straight over pretty much as well, because that happens right after this and we don't meet any of the team yet. So that's my goal today, is to edit this chapter and to edit chapter 4, and then tomorrow I'm doing chapter 5 and chapter 6, or part of chapter 6, and then on Sunday I'll finish chapter 6, because then that will be the first act ready. So I'm going to put you on a time lapse and just see how far I can get into it. Should be interesting. Like I said, I think I've got a word about 700 words of this, give or take. So I'm actually not sure how I'm going to start it, because on the last chapter I finished on her going to bed. So I need in this chapter for her to be at the pack house still, because that's where the book gets stolen from. So I still need her to be there, but I just need to change it. I might not need to change it completely. I might still keep it that she needs to go to this dinner, which is why she originally is at the pack house in the original draft. I might keep that in, so I'll only need to change that she didn't want to go to the pack house, that she was already there. So might not be as bad as an edit, at least the beginning first. But sorry about the shakiness as well. I'm currently on a little tripod and holding it. I'm about to start now with this. Hopefully it should only take me 2 25-minute sprints. That's my aim. It might take me like 1, and then if that's the case, I'll probably try and start on chapter 5 as well, edit, and then hopefully just tomorrow I should be able to do chapter 6 fully, and then maybe have the day off on Sunday. Okay, so I've just done a 25-minute sprint and I've done 898 words. That's some editing, some completely fresh words. It's about halfway done. I'm about halfway done with the chapter, but most of the next chapter is staying the same. So I did that little chunk that I needed to do first. That's completely edited now, and most of the rest is them fighting, which has got to stay the same. I've just got to make sure that there's no words wrong or the grammar's relatively okay. It's not going to be completely done because this is only the second draft, so I know that I'm going to need to do at least one more overhaul. I know on some of it I've made a comment that I need to edit it more in the next round, but I just wanted to get what I was trying to say and then move on, because I didn't want to have to worry about wording and that sort of stuff. And there's one word that I know, the word that I want to use, I can't spell it for one and I don't even know if that's the right word that I'm trying to spell. Does that make sense? So I've done that so far. There's 2 little things that I need to edit next round. And like I said, most of the next chapter is going to be, the rest of this chapter is going to stay relatively the same. Most of the next chapter as well is going to stay the same. So another 25-minute sprint, maybe 2, and I should be done for the chapters 3 and 4. And then I'll see how I feel, and I might do chapter 5 as well today, like I said. And the draft is currently at 10,125. So I'm getting there, I'm getting words done. I don't know where there. Because of my NaNoWriMo, I'm doing that. A lot of the words that I've just edited and done, I took out a lot of words. So it's not like it's going to show that I've done a lot. I was at 10,015, so basically it's going to show that I've done 110 words in that one sprint, which obviously I haven't. I've done quite a lot more, about 800 words, tweaking and that kind of stuff. I don't know how I'm going to work it out, but I'm going to work it out and then finish. Because the problem is I'm at the minute with NaNoWriMo, I'm doing it by total words instead of words this session, because I want to try and edit the entire manuscript, and that's just easier to figure out where I'm at and what I'm doing. So it might just be that I get the 110 and it's just what it is, because most of the next couple of chapters is going to say the same, so I'm not going to rewrite. Probably about 5,000 words for the next couple of chapters. Most of it's going to stay the same, so I reckon that's what it's going to be. Oh no, actually, I've just completely ruined all this. Basically, I didn't put the new words because I hadn't edited them. So currently my NaNoWriMo is at 7,433. So all of that rant was completely unnecessary. So I'm just going to put the new words on that, and then next couple I'm not going to do a lot of editing. It's just not a lot of rewriting, it's just going to be mostly edits, so that'll get my numbers up as well. So because currently on my NaNoWriMo I'm, like I said, at 7,433. We're on day 14, and my goal is to completely re-edit the entirety of the novel, which is about 75,000 words. So I'm supposed to be at 33,871 words today, which isn't going to happen. So that'll be fun. And again, sorry about the shakiness, I have to hold this mini tripod, so. Okay, that was another 25-minute sprint. I finished chapter 3 of the edits, and I've just started chapter 4, and like I said, it's mostly just editing. It's not big changes because it's all the aftermath of the fight at the pack house and then the subsequent stealing of the book, which they haven't found out about just yet. The but that happens in this chapter. They find out about it, so it's mostly just editing again, like I said. And I do think I'm going to try and get chapter 5, so I might do 2 more sprints because I'm quite on a roll and it seems to be flowing quite well, so which is good. With me adding chapter 4, I'm at 12,909, but like I said, that isn't completely edited words. So okay, so all of the words that I've done and finished and edited is 10,360. So I'm getting there. Got another 2,000 words to go in this edit, this chapter, sorry. And then, like I said, chapter 5, which again is going to be like this one, where I just have to edit the words. So my plan for the rest of the day is to try and finish edits of chapter 4 and 5. That'll get me to the next scene that I have, chapter that I have to rewrite. So chapter 6 I have to rewrite. Well, I don't even have to rewrite it, I have to do a complete rehaul because I haven't actually written any of it, because like I said, I moved all the chapters up. So chapter 6 I've got to write, but I think it's going to be a relatively short chapter and I don't have to write that much because I know relatively what I need to write. Does that make sense? I'm sure by now you've realised that I'm very awkward, very shaky, and it's not that great, but it's getting there. So yes, that's my plan. I'm gonna have a little bit of a break and then I'll come back a bit later on and finish up these last 2 chapters that I want to do today. Like I said, I'm just updating the NaNoWriMo website. I've got 12,909 words in my current draft, which means I've done 5,476 words today. As I said, that isn't all edited. It's not completely edited, it needs a bit more work, but it's there. And as you can see, there are many 0 word days. Because it's edits, it's obviously going to go really fast. So I'm not too worried about not even being like quarter of the way through my target. However, I am a bit when you see the difference in where I'm supposed to be. But like I said, Act 1 was the long big problems, so next acts are relatively easy edits to do. Please ignore the state that is my walls and the state that I'm in. I've decided I'm not feeling too great, so I'm not going to get out of bed today. Basically, I've just done a 25-minute sprint and finished chapter 4. And now I'm working on chapter 5, but I realised that what I wanted to do in chapter 6, the rewrites, was have them all plan how they were going to go about finding the book. And I've realised that most of that is in this chapter. At chapter 6, it was them getting ready to go and packing to go leave the book, find the book. And obviously that for me now is chapter 5. So what I'm going to need to do is add some fluff, well not fluff, build up on chapter 5 and move it into chapter 6, and then the bottom half of this chapter will go into that. Does that make sense? I'm basically expanding on what I've already got in this chapter and trying to make 2 chapters out of it. Other than that, the only other way I can do it is bringing the first half of chapter 7 into it and then building on chapter 7, but it's not going to be an entire chapter. I'm just going to need to build and expand on one part anyway, so that's the goal of today. So I will technically actually be doing chapter 6 today as well, even though I plan to do that tomorrow. I'll see how much I can do. I'm probably going to do another sprint today, maybe a bit later, because currently it's 5:20 and I've only just done 1 sprint today, so it was a slow day. But I'll see how I feel and get back to it in a bit. Some of this chapter's got to change as well because I'm taking out some of the characters, like I said, so that's going to need to be done because they get introduced in this book, in this chapter, without meeting them. So other than that, the only other way I can do it is introduce them in this chapter and then come up with a plan and say, actually no, the fewer people that know, the easier it'll be to keep it a secret. Yeah, I might do that, so I'm not losing as many words. Not that I'm too worried about my word count anyway, because the original draft was 78,630 and my goal was 75,000, so it was over anyway, so. Hi everyone, it is Sunday the 16th of July. I've just done a 25-minute sprint and then I just started a live stream as a playback with heart breathings, and I've just done a 10-minute sprint with her as well, and currently I'm working on chapter 6. So I've edited from the prologue to chapter 5, and I have got 1,147 words in my chapter 6 that I've edited, that's staying in there. It's cohesive, I've got some placeholder words in there, but it's relatively edited. and my entire draft is now 17,890. So I'm getting there. Also, if you've noticed that I've got different hair, it is because I'm wearing wigs. So you aren't seeing things. My hair is completely different to what I was wearing on Friday and yesterday. But I wasn't feeling too great yesterday. So I decided to just chill in bed and work a little bit on my story. I want to try and, as I said, finish Act 1 today. I'm not far off. I think I need about 19,000 words. So I'm about 1,000 words off from what I've got already. And what I haven't edited yet, I've still got about 850 words I've got that I need to edit from my previous draft that I think I can rework into the ending of this chapter. So that's my plan. I know what I've got to write, and I'm getting into the main part of the chapter where they come up with a plan of action before they go to try and retrieve the book, to find the book at the beginning of Act 2 Part 1. So I am getting there. I'm going to update the NaNoWriMo website now, and I'll flip this around so you can see that as well. I think my next sprint on the live stream is 15 and 20, so it might be 2, maybe 3 sprints, with them being the shorter ones instead of the 25, which is usually ones that I do because I find that I work a lot better with that time frame. So let's update it. Good. I'm at home and I'm writing on my laptop. So today I've written, because this has been completely my own words, as rewrites, I've done 1,050 words so far today. So it's not like the big days because that's usually the editing. So the 14th, that was completely edited words, I think, and the same with yesterday. So I don't think I'm going to get a big word count today. I'll probably get another 1,000, like I said. So, but I'm getting there. I think I'm almost at 25%. So yeah, once I hit that 25%, that's roughly where I need to be. I have got some deleted scene that I thought I was going to use, but obviously because of it being NaNoWriMo, I wanted to keep the words, but I'll delete them once NaNoWriMo's ended, just because I don't need them. So, and I changed the start of that chapter. This chunk here, where I've got that big pause, is stuff that I need to edit because it was from my last draft, and I need to work the rest of the chapter into this big gap that I've got there. I'm going to continue with my sprints, and I'll do the time lapses for each sprint that I get done. I might not come on and update you until I finish the chapter, just because I want to get it as quickly as possible. that last sprint I was almost finished on chapter 6, so I just finished that off. So I've currently finished Act 1. So I met my goal. I'm very happy. My word count for Act 1 is 20,099. So it's a little bit over what I estimated, but again, my actual draft, my previous draft was about 80,000, 78,000, 79,000, so it's about 80,000. So I'm not too worried, it's about right for the 80,000 anyway. So that's with that 200 word extra as well, so it's just under 20,000. So I'm gonna put that into NaNoWriMo now. So I'll flip you around and do that. And then I'm gonna fill in my personal tracker as well. So I'll show you what I've got for that. Okay, so the last update of this vlog. Cancel. Okay, so it was 20,099. I think. Yep. Very happy about it. And again, I'm not really that bothered about the actual timing of different stuff, so update. I'm now 26.8% of the way through, and I'm only 18,000 words off where I'm supposed to be. So let's see, yep, August. So I'm getting there. So today I've written 3,259 words, and most of that was my own words because I had to redo chapter 6. I do still think I can hit my goal of finishing this round of edits by the end of July for the Camplano. So yes, and then if I go over to this is my own personal tracker. I got it from Etsy. Sorry about the glare. So I've got the combo sheet. This is what I did. I usually do. Because it's got both of them on the same pages. How many words you get in each chapter, prologue, and then chapters, and then it calculates it for you. So my first draft I finished at 78,253, and so far from what I've put into this tracker, 7,204. So I'm going to fill in the word counts, file them in. I've just got 1, 2, 4 to fill in, just so that now I'm up to date with it. Okay, I'm gonna do this off camera because I'm getting a bit confused, and then I'll come and show you once it's all done. Okay, so that's all been put in. I have got different totals because I have those added extra words on the other one. So basically my edited words that I'm keeping in the manuscript is 19,868. So yeah, that's my current edit word count. But my nano word count is the 20,099 words. So I'm going to move over chapter 7 from my original draft, and then get started on that tomorrow. I think I'm going to try and do 7 and 8 tomorrow, but I will bring you along with me on that. Okay, so that's my update for Nano and my personal tracker. I'm planning on starting a new video for next week, in which next week I want to, let me just have a look at my plan. I want to try and get Act 2 Part 1 completely finished, and then Act 2 Part 2 about 3/4 of the way through. Basically, I want to try to get to chapter 18 by next week. I'm currently on chapter 7, so that's 12 chapters that I want to try and get done within the next week. But again, it's not any big rewrite, so it's just changing the old draft to fit with the current draft and take out those characters that I mentioned. Oh, I just got a message from Camp NaNoWriMo to say, oh hello there, 25%, I'm a quarter of the way through. So yeah, that's my plan for next week, and that'll put me in line to finish this round of edits by the end of July. So that'll be the end of this vlog. I will film an outro tomorrow, maybe. I feel like I've pretty much explained everything that I need to explain, and I've just got a lot of editing to do. I can imagine this video is going to be half an hour long, mainly because I waffle, so I apologise for like the long videos, because I can't imagine that this video is going to be less than half an hour. So if you stayed all the way through this entire video, thank you. Because I know that I waffle, and I know that I'm awkward, and I know it's very weird. So thank you for supporting me and watching this video. It means a lot, and I'm hoping this video is going to go up on Tuesday. So I want to edit it tonight and tomorrow, and upload it Tuesday. I'm not sure what time I'm going to upload it. It might be on the evening, so I have Tuesday as well to edit. So I think I might do 5 o'clock Tuesday night. That's British time. I don't know what that is in any other time zone, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do, 5 o'clock on Tuesday. My next video will be writing with chronic illnesses. I'll explain all about my different conditions in the next video, and explain how I manage to write and work on a self-publishing career with my different conditions, and then the video after that will be next week's vlog. I'm hoping to do 1 to 2 videos a week, mostly going to be a vlog each week of what I do in that week. It'll be a few days after, probably. Like, I'm hoping to get into the rhythm of filming it the one week, editing it the Monday and Tuesday, and publishing it on Tuesday. So I think, don't quote me on it, but I think Tuesday might be the vlog days that my vlogs go up. And then if I do another video, it'll probably be Friday. So those are the 2 uploading days that I'm planning for next week anyway, for them to go up. So yes, that's the plan. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and like I said, more to come hopefully in the next weeks. And so hopefully it'll only be this week this month, sorry, that we'll be doing editing vlogs, and then the week after it'll be my rough drafting, the sequel to this book. Like I said, it's going to be a 5-book series, so you can come along for the journey. I don't know how well the journey's going to go, but it will be a journey nonetheless. So yeah, like and subscribe, and I shall see you next week with a new vlog and a sit down video. Bye, thank you. Sorry, I've got a dog on my... This is Oddie. So the... Oh. I know. You're not going to be quiet for me to do this, are you? I need to do it with me.